guys, how's it going, YouTube? Dan G Team. It is Major G. I think I have mentioned this before. I know I mentioned it in the last Day Off Daily, but I might have mentioned it before. But I am a huge Entourage nut, and this actually came about, I think, within the past. This was going on about 2 years ago. I started watching Entourage. That was the first time I started watching it, and I almost didn't because I had a really bad. I had I'm not gonna say really bad. I had kind of a I didn't have the best uh, uh, um, first impression of what was his name, Kevin Connolly. Yep, Kevin Connolly. Okay, so I didn't have the best first impression of Kevin Connolly because for I think I've mentioned this too, but I used to live in LA. Before I moved here, I was in LA for almost 2 years. And when you're in LA, you run into celebrities a lot. It's not all that different from Entourage, which is one of the reasons why I love Entourage so much, is because it reminds me of living in LA. And uh, I used to hang out with Jen Friel, who is a blogger. She's kind of a famous, I don't know, depending on your circle, she's a famous internet blogger, and has been for 15 years, I want to say, almost 10, 15 years, something like that. She's been a famous internet blogger. Um, and and I met her because we used to play bar trivia together. And um, we one night we played one night when we were playing, and I'm surprised we used to play against. I think our biggest rivals were Ben Savage's team. Ben Savage from Boy Meets World and Girl Meets World, and Lance Bass used to show up every now and then. But Ben Savage was a regular, and this was right before Girl Meets World started filming. Um, about a year or two before Girl Meets World started filming, because once that started filming, he stopped showing up. but but yeah, so one night when we were there, Kevin Connolly showed up with his entourage, and uh, and he was obviously drunk, and he came in with his boys, and they were kind of rowdy, and he kept calling out answers to bar trivia, which, if you've ever played bar trivia, you know you're not supposed to call out answers, you're supposed to write them down. So he kept messing it up for everybody who was trying to play. Um, and he was obviously drunk, and eventually he just kind of left, and that kind of left a bad taste in me and my team's mouth, and I'm sure not a few other people too. Um, that was my first impression of Kevin Connolly. And I remember when I was there with my crew, with the group, they were like, "Who is this dude?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's Kevin Connolly from Entourage." Like, I'd never seen Entourage, but I knew he was on Entourage. But even then I mostly knew him from Unhappily Ever After, because he played the Bud Bundy character from Unhappily Ever After, and but I knew he was on Entourage at the time, and I want to say this was the second to last season, so the seventh season, I want to say. This was around maybe the seventh season. Um, that maybe they had just finished filming the seventh season, or they were between, or just finished the seventh season, or whatever. Um, but yeah, I think this was the seventh season, and yeah, he ended up leaving. Now, I say I thought it was worse than it was, because when I started watching Entourage, I became obsessed with it, and um, I started I started like researching some of the characters and the people, and how real the situations were, and all this stuff. And one of the things I came across was that um, Kevin Connolly was really good friends with Leonardo DiCaprio. Now, this isn't going to seem like a big thing. Like, why does Leo matter in this? But it matters because Leo Leo was actually one of the uh, owners of the bar that we played trivia at. So I think it was Leo and maybe Toby McGuire who were the co-owners of this bar. In fact, Leo showed up one night, but that's another story. And we saw him. He was smoking an e-cigarette and playing backgammon. But yeah. So when I realized that, I was like, holy crap. And then like I sat down and thought about it. I was like, wow, he really could have been really douchey about it. Yeah, he was kind of a douchey about yelling out answers, but it could have gone a lot worse because he didn't do what's commonly known in LA and New York as the who am I. He never said that, because it's not uncommon for people who are really dicks, who are celebs, who are really dicks at any level in their fame for them to request special treatment because of who they are. And even though people were yelling at him, he could have said, shut the F up. This is, I'm Leo's friend and I can have all you guys thrown out. He never said that. He just left eventually. So I realized that was it could have gone a lot worse than it really did. So I ended up forgiving him for that. So anyway, that's my story about about why I didn't really get into Entourage when it was going on, was because of that. And they actually filmed a couple of scenes at the bar that we used to play at. Like I went nuts when I realized it. Like I was watching, I think it's the 6th or 7th season. There's if you're a super fan of Entourage, there's a couple parts where what's his name? Where Turtle's in a sports bar with I can never remember this dude's name. He was the really big dude from Boy Meets World who ended up slimming down like a lot. And I can't think of his name, but he played the bully character back then, but he's a lot skinnier now. I think his name is Ethan something. But it was Turtle and that dude, and they were in this bar and they were talking, and then Turtle leaves the bar and they show the outside of the bar. And it was called Goal. Like Turtle mentions it in the episode. That's a real bar. That's Leonardo DiCaprio's bar. And that's where I used to play Goal. That's where I used to play bar trivia. So don't try to go there now if you're trying to play trivia, because they don't do trivia anymore. But that's my story anyway. But yeah, I'm a big super fan of Entourage. I've seen the show like three times, I want to say, in the past 3 years in the movie. So yeah, I'm curious as to what Honest Trailers is going to have to say about my show Entourage. So God, this was long. Let's go ahead and get on with this, because I know I've been yapping long enough.
From the network that redefined television with shows like The Sopranos, Deadwood, and The Wire comes this.
Unless Carmen Electra calls for an emergency, don't answer!
Entourage.
I love Ari.
Oh, yeah.
I hate Ari, but I love
HBO
Ari.
already hit it big with 4 self-absorbed women treating New York City like their personal sex playground. Now, get ready for the exact same thing with dudes in Los Angeles, but not just any
I never thought
LA.
of it that way.
Doug Ellen's fantasy version of LA, full of beebs, butts, babes, bros, brunch, bongs, and no black people. Seriously, almost everyone in the city is white, except for Lloyd.
He's
I
cute,
never thought
right?
of that.
And he covers 2 quotas.
Yeah, that is kind of true.
Meet Vinny,
I never thought
a
of
movie
that.
star with no talent, no charisma, and by some miracle, no herpes. Along for the ride is his posse of childhood friends. E, the smirking know-it-all who's the least fun part of every episode.
Think I should buy this car? You're gonna spend $320,000 on a car?
Turtle, your average Entourage fan.
He's rolling.
Yeah.
Baby.
Yeah, everybody loves Turtle because we see ourselves in
The
Turtle.
underappreciated brother of a more famous sibling, kind of like Kevin Dillon. and Ari Gold, a sexist.
Wow.
That's why no more guys.
Yeah.
You fire a guy and you create a rival. You fire a woman and you create a housewife.
Racist.
Speak or I will intern you like it's 1942.
I am not Japanese, Ari.
Speak!
Homophobe.
Has so much been squirted in those eyes you can't see what's right in front of your face.
Who's such an awful
Wow.
person. Being a talent agent is the 5th worst thing about him.
Really?
Really?
In a business where every actor's career is a roller coaster of highs and lows, follow Vinny and the boys on a consequence-free journey from highs to even higher
More
highs,
highs.
full of non-crises like, will Vince get to Cannes on time?
I guess I'm going to Cannes.
Will a blackout keep Vince's movie from breaking box office records?
The biggest thing that the blackouts affected
Nope.
were the actual reporting of the numbers.
Did Turtle and Drama's wieners touch?
We accidentally
Yeah, they
crossed
did.
swords. Ew.
Yeah.
Really?
And will
I remember
Vince
that
have to
episode.
donate more money to Matt Damon's charity before flying to Italy on his private jet?
Call Marvin. Have him write a check for 150 grand to Matt's charity.
Okay.
Get ready to say, hey, I know that guy, as you watch an unending parade of celebrity cameos featuring celebrities playing themselves,
Hey, Peter Jackson. Hey, it's Marty Scorsese.
Stan Lee.
Hi.
celebrities not famous enough to play themselves, people who were
That's
never
true.
that famous in the first place,
Yo, Faustino, what up? Nada.
and people who have become way more famous than anyone on the show ever thought.
You know the
That's true.
station agent?
Yeah.
It's
Like
about
Iris.
the midget who lives
Iris
by the
plays
train
one of the
track.
secretaries.
Last time I saw him, he was
Candace
in a FedEx
Patton.
commercial. They were overnighting him to London.
And then
His name
Gal
is Peter
Gadot is in
Dinklage,
that episode too. She plays one of his
Awkward.
one of Vince's dates.
Flip your hat back and pop your collar as you witness the height of bro culture.
Last time I saw him, he was in a FedEx commercial. They were overnighting him to London.
His name is Peter Dinklage, Ari.
Whoa! Wow.
Awkward.
Awkward.
Flip your hat back and pop your collar as you witness the height of bro culture, where gays are gross, girlfriends are for pussies, and chicks are either ball-busting shrews
Ari Gold's balls are
Not
being
all
held
of
by
them.
2 women.
or bangable flesh trophies.
Mean is when I made Jess
Jamie Lynn
Mancini ride a
Sigler.
bike
Jamie
home
Lynn
after I-
Sigler was portrayed as really awesome.
Dude, really? So raise your glass and settle in with
Sorry, guys.
Mancini ride a...
2 women.
or bangable flesh trophies.
Mean is when I made Jess Mancini ride her bike home after I...
Dude, really? So raise your glass and settle in with a TV version of booze, where a little bit is fun, but too much at once will make you want to punch somebody, puke, then get depressed and cry yourself to sleep.
How many people does it take to handle one talentless actor?
Starring weed, shots,
Shots.
chicks,
Chicks.
2 chicks at the same time.
Yeah, that happens a
Sick
bunch.
cars,
Yes.
private jets,
Yeah.
throwing out, hugging out,
You want to hug it out? Let's hug it out, you little bitch. Let's hug it out, bitch.
Lloyds,
Lloyd!
Lloyd! Lloyd!
Eric and Sloan breaking up,
Getting back together.
I want to get back together.
That will never happen.
Eric and Sloan getting back together,
We gotta
and then
get
breaking up again.
Avion Tequila,
Tequila Avion. Avion. Avion.
Avion.
Avion.
phone calls,
Hey, Ari, what's up?
Yo, E.
Yeah, there's a lot of phone
What's up?
calls.
What's up, Lloyd?
Hey, Drama, what's up? Hey, what's up, Turtle?
Hey, Eric. What's up?
Turtle!
Drama.
Hey, Ari, what's up?
What's up, Lloyd?
outdated cultural references,
Oh, this brother I met on MySpace?
I remember
He's
that
coming.
one.
Hey, how come you're not on this Facebook thing?
Because I'm an adult?
It's the Geely effect.
Wow.
Vince isn't doing the movie,
I don't want to do Aquaman.
Vince
Yeah,
is doing
He's
the movie,
doing the movie.
Would you like to come play Aquaman for me?
Sure, I can do that for you.
and Toast.
Glasses up.
Cheers to that. To Saigon. To Aquaman.
Family being together again.
Vince not getting a job from some dude.
The real douchebags of Broverly Hills.
Wow.
Say what you will about the Entourage movie, but I totally see James Cameron's Aquaman.
Yeah.
To the rescue!
Right? And Queens
Be sure
Boulevard.
to subscribe
And Hyde,
for
for that
more
matter.
honest trailers. Hey, Screen Junkies, if you love movies, please visit our friends at Film Theorists, the new channel from the minds behind game theory. Check them out and tell them Screen Junkies sent you. Be sure to subscribe. Oh wait, I already said that. Something in the style of Chewbacca. Shomer Shabbos. These are my adventure pans for adventures in my pans. So long, and thanks for all the fish.
Okay, so that wasn't as scathing as I thought it could have been. The They did hit some honest points. Like, there is a lot of broing out in that, and I'd never thought of that before. But there's a lot of broing. So to address the Doug Ellen version, fantasy version of LA, yes and no, because a lot of that stuff, it's hard to explain. So, like, I've lived some of that, but at the same time, I haven't lived some of that when I was in LA. So, I don't know how to really describe it, but it is really, like, if you know the right people, it really is similar to that kind of culture. Like, or not that kind of, but like that kind of lifestyle is like, I can't explain it. I really can't. But like, it really did remind me of living in Los Angeles again. Which is one of the reasons why I love the show so much. Even though I haven't experienced a lot of the stuff that they experience, I really don't know how to describe it. It's just that the experiences are similar, even if they're not the exact same. I hope you guys know what I'm talking about here. But anyway, I'd never thought about it either. But yeah, I never thought about it. But yeah, there's not really a lot of black people in Entourage. Now that I think about it. Well, no, that's not necessarily true. There are black people. There's just not a lot of them. And some of it, I think a lot of it has to do with where they are in LA. So they're in a lot of the rich areas in LA, which you're not really going to find a lot of black people, because LA, like many places in the US, is pretty segregated. So like, yeah, there are black people in it. So like, you have one of the dudes from Tales in the Hood, the congressman from Tales in the Hood, the black congressman who gets killed by the cops. He plays one of the handymen in Entourage. He plays a dude that has hooked Luke Wilson up with a good home entertainment system, and he gets Vince one as long as he says good stuff about him on, I think it was Jay Leno's show or something, or Conan O'Brien, something like that. And so he's in it. There's a part where they're trying to earn extra money when Vince is not really making much money, and Turtle plays in this Xbox tournament, and he gets, like, this little black kid like mops the floor with him, and yeah, once again, Candace Patton plays one of the secretaries, and she plays, who was it? It was CBS or Fox. She plays a secretary of the CEO of like a big studio. I want to say it's Fox, and I don't remember if that was, but she plays that, and I did actually think about that too. I remember before I watched Entourage, I always thought it was weird that you had all these famous people in a show with people who aren't very famous. So yeah, they did hit a lot of good points about it. So I'll give them that. They did hit some really good points, and I'm not really mad about it. So yeah. How did you guys feel about it? I know I rambled on for a lot of this. You know, there was one thing I forgot to mention in terms of what they were talking about. So they were talking about Doug Ellen's fantasy version of Hollywood, which was filled with white people. And one other reason for that is because they are involved with Hollywood. And as much as a lot of people don't really want to think about it, Hollywood likes to surround themselves with pretty young pretty white people. And I'll say this as somebody who did actually try to go over. I actually moved to LA to try to become an actor, but one, I was too old. Two, I wasn't fit enough, and three, I wasn't white enough. And that was even as a even just like trying to get started in background roles. A lot of times they would ask for white people. So I mean, it sucks, but that's kind of the way Hollywood is, and it would be nice to have some of that changed around. On a slightly more serious note, but yeah, that's another explanation for that, is that they're always involved with Hollywood, and Hollywood is primarily going to be white people. So yeah, there is that. Yep. So once again, be excellent to one another and party on, dudes.
I love you.
You gotta say I love you, Dad.
Daddy, you serious?
I wanna hear it.
You want to hear
Oh.
Look at this one.
I love you.
That's a copy.
Time to swing, just like I taught you.
When did you teach me that?
I did. It's a little joke. Team building.
Hey guys.
Okay. Who are you?
Spider-Gwen?